Hello and welcome back to the classes by Mrs. Monisha Nagpal. We are back again with the last class based on the topic linear equations. So today we are going to do few more word problems based on the topic. So the first sum is there on your board. A chemist has 30 liters of a solution containing 70% of acid. How many liters of water should be added to it so that the resultant solution contains 50% acid? So suppose there is a beaker here containing a solution. Now the solution is having, this is a 30-liter solution. Now of this 30-liter solution, it's a solution containing acid and water. So the acid is 70%. So the remaining percentage is automatically water in it. Okay. So out of 30%, out of 30 liters, this 70% is acid. So how much acid do we have? We know how to solve percentage problems. Acid is 70% of 30 liters. That is 21 liters. So we have 21 liters of acid in it. Now the next part of the question says how many liters of water. So now we are adding some water to it. Some amount of water is added to it, by which the concentration of the acid is changing. So think of a simple example. Say you are making a sugar syrup. Okay, you have taken a glass filled with water and you have added sugar in it. So naturally the sugar is and the sugar and the water solution is sweet in taste. Now after some time you feel like you want to add some amount of water in it. So you're adding some water in it. So automatically what happens? The sweetness reduces. Okay, because you're adding the amount of water, you're increasing the water, so the percentage of the sugar content decreases, because initially the proportion of sugar that you had in your solution, it was as per the water that was initially present. But now when you're increasing the amount of water, what happens there? The sweetness content reduces. So similarly over here, the same thing you must have seen while you have made your rasna or your shikanji. You might have seen this. So when you add water, the taste reduces. The reason being that the concentration of the syrup or whatever you are using, the rasna or the shikanji, that reduces. As a result, there's a change in the taste because the concentration level in the second case changes. So here in the first case, this was the story. And the second case, you are adding some water. So initially we had 30 liters. Now suppose you are adding some amount, say X liters. So now the percentage is what? X liters. So here it is told that the solution contains, now as per this solution, the concentration of the acid is 50%. See, you had not added any acid to it. You had added water. So when water is being added, the actual amount of the acid is the same. Acid remains the same. Acid has no change in it. Acid remains the same. But water is being added. So because the concentration of water has now increased, so automatically the percentage or the concentration of the acid reduces. So you can see the change in the percentage. Initially the acid had the solution had 70% acid. Now the solution has 50% acid. Why? Because water content has increased. So as per this, the water content, as per this new solution 30 plus X, acid is how much? 50% of 30 plus X. But originally, in terms of quantity, the acid is the same. Acid is not being added. So acid, whatever quantity of acid you had initially in the solution, the same quantity you have even now in the solution, because no acid was added. Just the percentage has changed. But acid remains the same. Acid was 21 liters here. Now also acid is 21 liters here as well. Okay. This change in the percentage is due to this change. This change. Because initially we had 21 liters. When it was 30, when you take the percentage, what you are getting? 70%. When acid was 21 liters and the solution was 30 liters. But now it is 21 liters, but the solution's content has changed. From 30 it has become 30 plus x of this. Thus it is equal to 50%. This is the change. Alright. So the concentration of acid is not changing. Alright. So now we are going to frame an equation based on this. So the concept lying behind the sum is clear if I can suppose that. So let us say let x L liters of water be added. So we are assuming that we have added x liters of water. So since amount of acid remains same before and after addition of x liters, therefore, see amount, I am not saying percentage, the percentage is changing but amount is remaining the same because you did not add any new amount of acid in it. So the amount remains the same. That means 50% of 30 plus x, initially it was 30 liters, now it is 30 plus x liters, is equal to 70% of 30 liters. So what are we equating on both sides? Content of acid, content of acid. The amount of acid here and the amount of acid here, they are same. So when you are simplifying this, so 50 by 100 into 30 plus x equals to 70 by 100 into 30. So this is 2. This we already had calculated. So 30 plus x by 2 is equal to 21. So 30 plus x equals to 42. So x is equal to 42 minus 30. Therefore, your question is how much liters of water is to be added. So this is equal to x is equal to 12. Therefore, 12 liters of water is to be added. So I guess the question is clear. I repeat once again, initially we had 30 liters of the solution. So when you add x liters, initial volume was 30 liters. Now the new volume is, say V1. So 30 plus x we are adding. This is the new volume. Alright. But what remains same? The volume of acid in both the cases remains the same because you are not adding any new volume or you are not adding any amount of acid to it. Only water was added. So acid's amount remains the same before and after. That's what I have written over here. Since the amount of acid remains same before and after the addition of x liters, so that means 50% of 30 plus it. Because for the new addition, for the new volume, how do you calculate the acid content? 50% of this. And for the initial one, 70% of 30. So when you are simplifying this, you are getting the value of x to be as 12 liters. So this is a very common sums. You often get this in the various competitive examinations, various Olympiad examinations. So this is a very important and a very conceptual sum. Okay. So we now will move on to the second problem. Starting with the second sum. In a shooting competition, a man receives 50 paise if he hits the mark and pays 20 paise if he misses it. He tried 60 shots and was paid rupees 1.30, 1 rupees 30 paise. How many times did he hit the mark? Okay, a very easily connecting sum that you will see in the normal fairs that you go. Okay, so you will see there is a circle with some black and white circles, concentric circles, and you have to shoot it. Some of you all have tried it also. So in some cases you are given gifts, and in some places you are given amount. Okay, very less amount, but you are given some amount. So it's such a kind of a sum. So the question says that there's a man who has tried 60 shots. Okay, and the 60 shots is divided between two things. That is, he hits the point and he misses the point. Okay, now when he hits, he receives 50 paise, and he misses, he has to pay the 50 paise. Means that is a fine. Like how this sum is very much relatable to your negative marking in your various Olympiad exams. Okay, in the competitive exams, you gain marks when you appear correctly for a question, and you lose marks for appearing wrong. So such a kind of a question, relatable. So hits and misses. Now suppose we assume that he hits for x number of times. Okay, for x times he hits it correctly. So how many times he misses it? 60 minus x. Alright, now it is told he receives 50 paisa. So for x times, for each time he is receiving 50 paisa. So for x times, how much amount will he receive? 50x paisa. This much he is receiving. And for missing, the amount that he has to pay is how much? That is 20 paisa. So 20 into 60 minus x. This much he will have to pay. Now, after this thing is over, that is after he has finished the 60 shots, he is now receiving how much? He is receiving a total of rupees 1.30 as the prize money. Okay. So your question is, how many times did he hit the mark? So see, this amount that he has obtained, 50x, and this amount that he has lost. So minus is equal to how much? 130. Now what is 130 and why not 1.30? Because you see both sides of the equation should have the same units. So this is paise, so this has to be paisa. So 1.30 converted to paisa is 130 paise, or you could have changed these two in rupees. Alright, so I hope the working is clear. I repeat once again, 60 shots in all he had tried. For number of hits we have taken x. Suppose x times he has hit the spot, and number of times he misses the shot is 60 minus x. Alright, so what is the prize money that he should receive as to hit the mark? 50 paisa. So for x shots, 50x paisa, and for the miss outs he has to pay 20 into 60 minus x. Now in all, at the end of the game he is getting 1.30. So now this money minus this money is this money, because this much he will get, this much he will have to pay. Okay, so this gain minus this lost is equal to 1.30. So 1.30 we will keep it as 130 because both sides have to have same units. So when you are writing the sum, let the man hit the mark x times. So number of times he misses will be 60 minus x times. Okay. Amount gained on hitting the mark. He receives 50 paisa if he hits the mark. That is 50 into x paise. Amount lost on not or missing the mark. Therefore, total amount received at the end rupees 1.30, that is equal to 130 paise. So according to the problem, when you are solving, 50x minus 20 into 60 minus x equals to 130. Okay, so simplifying it now, 50x minus 1200 minus plus 20x is equal to 130. So 50 plus 20 is 70x equals to 1200 plus 130. So 70x equals to 1330. That implies x is equal to 1330 by 70, 0 cancel, and this is 19. So he hits the mark x times. The man hits the mark 19 times. So here we come at the end of the problem. Alright, so the twist lies here, that is when you are adding, when you are subtracting. For gaining you are adding, for losing you are subtracting. That is it. And also the unit should be same on either sides of the equation. Alright, I hope the sum is clear. Moving on to the third sum now. Next sum. This sum is also based on rupees. The previous sum was also based on rupees. This is also based on rupees. Let's see. Based on money. A bag contains 10 paisa, 20 paise and 50 paise coins. The number of 25 paise coins is 3 times the number of 10 paise coins. If 50 paise coins are 5 more than 25 paise coins and the total value in the bag is rupees 120, find the number of 10 paise coins. Okay, a big sum but a very simple concept lying behind. Everybody of you know this sum. How? I am telling you. Suppose this is Riya, mother of Raj or Raju, Pooja and Sneha. Okay. Now mommy has given 5 rupee coins to Raju and she has given it 10 5 rupee coins she has given. To Pooja she has given 2 rupee coins, 20 number of 2 rupee coins, and to Sneha she has given 10 rupee coins or notes, which is number of them is 5. Alright. So what did she give? The mother, this is the mother. She has given Raju 10 5 rupee coins, to Pooja 20 2 rupee coins, and to Sneha 5 10 rupee coins. Now she has said them, this money all the 3 of you take and go and buy, have a treat. Take a pizza and have a treat. She has told them. Now she has given all the 3 of them pocket money in different ways she has given. Now when they go to the shop, what they will do? They will sit together and they will collect the money in one place and then order for the pizza. Now let us see how much money do they have and are they capable of getting a pizza or not. So Raju says, see, I have 10 5 rupee coins. So Raju has how much? Raju has 50 rupee. Pooja says, I have 2 rupee coins, 20 in number. So 40 rupees she has. Sneha, she says, I have rupees 50. So she has 50 and he has 50. She has 40 and she has 50. So these two people have the same amount. Now they will accumulate the amount 50 plus 40 plus 50, that is 140. Will they get a pizza for this? I'm not sure if there's any place where they can get. If yes, then of course, but they can get fed something good for them, something healthy for them, and they can have a party together. So what did we do? What was the concept here? We are multiplying the amount with the number of coins. Here also amount with the number of coins. Here to amount with the number of coins. And then from rupees 5, what is the value collected? 50. For rupees 2, what is the value collected? 40. For rupees 10, what is the value collected? 50. And then we are joining them and getting 140. So this concept only we will be using here in this sum. Alright, I hope this concept is clear. Now, going to the sum. So it is told that the money inside the bag is in the form of, the bag is in the form of 10 paisa, 25 paisa and 50 paisa. And the total amount in the bag is rupees 120. Alright, okay. Now, here conditions are given. The number of 25 paisa coins is 3 times the number of 10 paisa coins, and number of 50 paisa coins is 5 more than the 25 paisa coins. So everything is depending on the 10 paisa coin. So let us take that to be as x. Let number of 10 paisa coins be x. So number of 25p coins will be how much? 3 times. 3 times. So 3x. And number of 50p coins is how much? This is 5 more than the number of 25 paisa coins. So 3x plus 5, 25 paisa coins plus 3x. So 5 more than that. So 5 more coins. Number of 50 paisa coins are 5 more than that of 25p coins. Okay. Now what is the amount collected? Or collected amount? Total amount, whatever. So amount obtained is how much from these three? See, 10 paisa, how many x? So 10 into x. Alright. Now 25 paisa, 3x. So 25 into 3x. And 50 paisa is 35, 3x plus 5. So 50, 3x. So this is the amount that is to be collected. I mean, that is obtained from this number of coins that is present for each of the categories. So from this we are getting 10x, 75x, this is 150x plus 250. Alright, so this is 235x plus 250. Okay, let's check this out. 150, 10 plus 85 is 75 is 85. So 5, 13 carry 1, 235, yes. So now this is the amount that is obtained. Now it is also given to us that the value in the bag is 120. That means this value and this value is same. So according to the problem, what is the given value? The given value is rupees 120. Okay, so this given value and this obtained value is same. Value obtained or amount obtained, value, amount, whatever you feel like. So according to the problem, 235x plus 250 is equal to, now here again, this side everywhere we have paise. So this 120 rupees will also be converted to paise. That means 12000 paise. 2 more zeros is annexed over there. Alright. So 235x equals to 12,000 minus 250. Let's check this. 12,000 and this is 250. 5, 7, 11750. Now let's calculate this. So x will be equal to 11750 by 235. All right, let's check this. With 5, if we cancel, 5 2s are 10, 17, so 3s are 15, 2, 5, 0, and this one is 40, 4s are 20, 47. Okay, so now this check this. 47 is a prime number, so 47 into 5, 7 5 is 35, 3, 20, and 3, 23. So this is 50 times. So you are getting x's value as 50. Now what was x? Number of 10 paisa coins, and that is the question. Find the number of 10 paisa coins. So answer, number of 10 paisa coins is equal to 50. So if you were asked to even go to find the other ones, that is find the number 25 paisa coins, find the number 50 paisa coins, you could have just simply substituted the value of x as 50 in these two and got the number of coins of the other categories, that is of 25 paisa and 50 paisa coins. So I hope this sum is clear. So the required question has just asked you to find the number of 10 paisa coins. So we have got number of 10 paisa coins is 50, and here the sum ends. So please remember, both the sides should have same units. So here it was in paise, this part was totally in paise, amount obtained, this should be in P, the whole thing is in P. Okay, and the amount given in the bag is 120, so 120 rupees means 2 zeros for paise, because rupee is getting converted to paise into 100, so 120 into 100, that means 12000 paise. Now you equate it. So once you are equating, you are simplifying and getting your value of x to be as 50. So number of 10 paisa coins is 50. So I hope this sum is clear. This lesson, that is linear equations based on one variable or single variable, we'll go ahead with 2 variables from the next class. Till then, make sure the single variable or linear equations in one variable are clear to you. Go through the videos and make your concept crystal clear. And again, repeating what I say every day at the end of the class, if you really like the way I teach, or if you really want me to come up with more of new topics, please do like the channel, subscribe the channel, and also do comment your doubts and your problems in the comment section so that I can reply you there and help you out in solving your doubts. Till then, have a great journey with this lesson. Meet you soon in the next video. Thank you.